Greetings everybody, I hope that you guys are good. Let us have a very quick look at the Remgro chart. So we are on the monthly chart, as you guys can see, and we can see that the monthly chart currently is in an upward trajectory. To add to that, can you guys also see that we have what seems to be a head and shoulders pattern forming at this level over here? So what may happen next is that price may push down to this level. However, for that to happen, we need the neckline of this particular structure to be broken to the downside, and should that happen, we would then wait for price to head up to the neckline to test it, and we would possibly look for selling opportunities at that level, as the anticipation is for price to move further down to this level to create that very nice head and shoulders pattern, right? I'm just gonna add a neckline to that structure. Just bear with me while I do so. There we go. There goes the neckline of that head and shoulders pattern. So what else do we see on this chart that we should be paying attention to? Let's see. I don't see much at this point. So what I'm gonna do is head down to the weekly chart. Just bear with me. So here we are on the weekly chart. Alright, so what do we see on the weekly chart? On the weekly chart, we can see that the head and shoulders pattern that I spoke about on the monthly chart is much clearer, as you guys can see, and so is the neckline of that head and shoulders pattern, right? Over and above that, what else do we see in regards to this chart, which is the monthly chart? Another thing that I see is that at this level over here, we have that candlestick, which is a liquidity candlestick, and it tells us that the market needs to grab liquidity at that level. Similarly, we also have at this level this candlestick, right, which is a liquidity candlestick as well. It's a bearish candlestick with a small body and a relatively long lower wick, right? To add to that, we also have this candlestick at the bottom, which also tells us that we have a lot of liquidity stuck at that level. So what this tells us ultimately is that yes, indeed, there's potential, or there's a very big chance that price may push further down to grab one of these points, as there is a lot of liquidity trapped at those levels, right? However, having said that, just keep in mind that in order for this particular pattern to complete itself, we first need price to close below this level, and then that's when we will wait for the market to head back to the neckline to test it, and we will most likely look for selling opportunities at that level, right? Anyway, let's proceed. But for now, as much as we have this head and shoulders pattern, right, bear in mind that this level over here, at this level, it is a very strong level of support, and as you can see, we had multiple rejections at that level, and what may actually happen is that price, as much as we're expecting price to break the neckline to the bottom side, price may actually move further up, and that is also because we have what seems to be a very nice W structure forming at that level, right? So I'm just showing you all of these possibilities so that you have them in the back of your mind, and that you can act accordingly based on what the market does, right? So let's proceed. So as I said, we have this W structure, and the neckline of this W structure is at around this level or so, right? And what I would do is I would first wait for the market to break above this level if I am looking for possible buying opportunities, and should that happen, I would also wait for it to come back to the neckline to test it, and this is where I would look for possible buying opportunities to first around this level, because we have this candlestick over here, which is also a liquidity candlestick, and the second take profit level would be this level here, and that's because that's where the structure started, and the completion of the structure would be at the same level more or less, in my humble opinion, right? Anyway, before we proceed, I'm just going to add a neckline to that W structure as well, because it is also very much important. So there goes the W structure, or rather the neckline of that W structure, right? Let's see. So what else do we see? Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this candlestick where it ends, because it is carrying a lot of liquidity at that level. So just bear with me when I do so. There we go. Right. There we go. So another thing that I want to point out is that as much as we have what seems to be a W structure at this region, just also bear in mind that when it comes to W structures, what normally happens is that many traders and investors buy on the second leg of the W, and they place their stop losses just below that structure. So what may be happening here in regards to this W structure is that the market may be setting a trap, because as we speak, there are a lot of stop losses that are located in this region, and the market may push to this level, which is a level of resistance, and then push further down to trigger all of these stop losses, and also to complete this inverted head and shoulders pattern that we spoke about, or rather the head and shoulders pattern that we spoke about, right? So we just need to, as I said, ensure that we keep all these possibilities in the back of our minds, and we act accordingly based on what price does, right? I don't see anything else at this point, so I'm going to head down to the daily chart. So here we are on the daily chart. So what do we see on the daily chart that we should be paying attention to? Let's see. In fact, the first thing that I'm going to do in regards to the daily chart is actually add my daily channel. Let's see, how would I add my daily channel in regards to the Remgro chart? Okay, let's see, I would do it this way, just bear with me. There goes my daily chart, or my channel rather. There we go, more or less. Right. Yeah, so there goes the daily channel. So what else do we see? What else do we see on this chart that we should be paying attention to? Let's see. I can see that we had an overextended M structure at this level, which had a neckline at more or less this level, right? And price broke the neckline to the bottom side, and then is now currently at the neckline of that M structure to retest it. So what may actually happen is that price, from where it is, it may push further down, because as I normally say, guys, that when it comes to M structures, we would love to see price bridge the bottom side of that neckline and then head back up to retest the neckline, and this is where we would look for possible selling opportunities, as the anticipation is for price to move further down, right? So we have this particular structure here, and we have the neckline. Price broke to the bottom side and then went back up to retest that neckline, and we might possibly see price push further down to around this level to finish that structure, which is the overextended M structure. So what I'm going to do now is add a neckline for that structure. Just bear with me. Okay, there goes the neckline. So let's see. The next thing that I'm going to do is to utilize the Fibonacci retracement tool. I just want to see if the neckline aligns with any of the key numbers that we have on the tool. So what we're doing right now is looking for further reasons for why we should be selling in regards to that M structure, and price currently testing the neckline of that M structure. So let's see. There we go. Right, so can you guys see that actually the neckline of this overextended M structure aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, right? So that's confluence. It tells us that yes, indeed, we should possibly be looking for selling opportunities at this point. However, having said that, we need further reasons for selling at that point, because just having an M structure, the neckline of that M structure being retested, and the neckline of that M structure being in alignment with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, that's not enough. We need further reasons for why we should be looking for possible selling opportunities at this level, right? So what I'm going to do now is go down to the H4 chart. On the H4 chart, I'm just going to fix my lines. Just want to make sure that my channel is accurate. There we go. Right, so here we are on the H4 chart. So what do we see on the H4 chart that we should be paying attention to? So can you guys see that on the H4 chart at this level we had multiple rejections at that level, which tells us that this level is actually a very strong level